Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's begin here. Thanks for coming to our Business of Media event. I'm AJ Moore. I'm going to kick it over to our speaker, and we have a couple students up here who are going to serve as question askers and a little give and take with them. But then probably about the last 15 to 20 minutes, you guys, any questions you have for Meg regarding social media, influencer, being a writer, along all of those. Have those ready to go. So let's begin by doing something you probably don't normally get in a classroom. Pull out your phone and let's go to Instagram. All right, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I would assume and I hope everybody follows Meg on Instagram. So Meg things _ whenever it comes back, please follow her and essentially create this online community. This is a Business of Media event. And I'm going to say, looking at our audience, we have a pretty diverse group of people in all the different metrics. But I will say there's two things all of you have in common. You have social media and you use social media. You have a phone and you use social media. The other part is this. You want to have a job, a career, as to how she came to the point she's at right now talking to you. She graduated not that long ago. So think about all these different similarities we have together. And finally, looking at social media, I know a lot of you are in social media classes, you're in event planning, you're in PR. What I always say is this. You guys know more about social media. I'm older than you. You guys grew up with it. Meg probably knows more about it than anybody else here. And it's a great resource to learn from. So we're very lucky to have Meg. I'm going to introduce Amethyst Martinez, who's interested in social media platforms and all that communication. She is going to introduce our speaker.
Yeah, so I want to join the department in welcoming Megan Longo. She's a Rider alum who graduated in 2020. Yeah. And she's a content creator based out of New Jersey. And she has a TikTok and Instagram series entitled Meg's Things, where she shares her favorite things, foods, and places. And she's joining us today to discuss her widely recognized social media presence and how she put her degree to use. So if we could just welcome Megan to the stage.
Of course Instagram's down, right? Right on cue. But before we start, who is here because you're interested in maybe content creation or influencing? And if you're embarrassed, it's okay, you don't do it. Okay. Who's here for extra credit? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, wow. All right, well, regardless, you're going to get a lot out of this. I want to have fun. I remember sitting here. I know I sound old, but I remember sitting here. It's a rainy day. You're like, I have to go to this. So let's at least have fun together. So I am Meg. People call me Meg, Meg Things, and when I'm in a store, usually people recognize me by my voice, which is pretty weird. They'll go, are you Meg Things? And I'm like, yes, I'm Meg. And you follow me online probably. And it's funny public speaking because I'm so used to just talking to my phone that this is such a cool experience. So I'm so happy to be here. You can come in and join. Okay. Let's rewind. So you might have not expected that my major was psychology. So not a lot of people expect that about me. I was 17. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do, as most of us don't know at 17. And I decided I'm going to be a shrink. So I'm going to go to Rider and I'm going to be a shrink. I quickly realized that that is not for me, and that's okay. But I started getting internships. I was really interested in fashion, so I got an internship with Fiji Water. I actually won a social media contest, but don't find that YouTube video because it's just so cringy. But I won it, and I decided to intern at New York Fashion Week. It was amazing, and I'm like, this is what I'm meant to do. So I decided to minor in event planning because I loved fashion, I loved events. And then I ended up interning at IMG, which also runs Fashion Week, and I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. So Rido was great for that, learning about events, PR, marketing. I kind of got my feet wet in that regard. And I know that these may have been taken 10 years ago, but I still am fun. And why I asked if it's embarrassing to raise your hand is I used to walk around campus with bunny ears. I see some Zetas right here. So believe me, I am used to walking around campus, being embarrassing in my jersey, screaming, and I just had the best time at Rider. It was the best. After college, jobs, and more jobs. So everyone thinks you're gonna just like get out of college, get your dream job, this is my career. And I remember I got a job at Burlington Coat Factory as a buyer, pillows specifically. And I was like, this is it. I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be a huge buyer. And in 3 months, I'm like, I don't like this. I hate this. Cried to my mom, living at home with my parents, and she's like, just quit and find something else. So I did event planning. I ended up being a retail manager at Alex and Ani after I got married. And that was the best job for me because I learned how to manage people and I learned how to sell, which I think is very important. Finally, I decided, okay, I majored in psych, I have this events experience, I want to work at a nonprofit. So I started as a part-time admin assistant, and I decided that I'm going to work my way up here, and I loved it. I ended up becoming COO of that company, and I did that role for 3 years. And I got to the end, and I was like, okay, I can run a business, I can run a company, I want to do my own thing. I'm hitting my own. So, at the end of that, I'm like, what can I do? What the hell can I do? I still don't know what I want to do. I was getting a spray tan, and has anyone got a spray tan in this room? Yes. Men probably not, but women yes. So if you get a spray tan, you are stripping down. You are butt naked in front of someone getting tan. And I thought to myself, when I go on these spray tanning pages, everyone is a model, and we're all normal people with rolls and stretch marks and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna create a body positive spray tan company. So that's what I did. I quit my job, which was a little scary, and started spray tanning, but I was bored during the day. So that kind of leads me to where I'm standing right now. How I became an influencer by accident, but sort of on purpose. So I was spray tanning at night, and I was so freaking bored during the day, and all I did was watch TikTok. I'm like, I'm wasting my time watching people post TikToks. Why don't I post one? So I go to my husband, Andy, God bless him, and I'm like, I'm gonna post on TikTok. He's like, are you sure? Like, you're just gonna post on, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, I'll just figure it out, like, whatever. So I decided from January 2023, I'm gonna post every day and just see what happens. So that's what I did. Hopefully this video
Meg,
plays.
do you want to know the best places to eat in New Jersey?
This is my series, Meg Things, and if you enjoy this, please hit the follow button. Let's go.
The best Italian restaurant for atmosphere and food is Angelica's in Seabright. It is one of the harder reservations to get, but you've got to set those Resi notifications. I love eating outside. It's always heated, and they give you blankets. The food is incredible. I mean,
The pasta looks pretty good.
She's
Okay. I post that video, right? I mean, I'm standing in my kitchen, and I'm like, I'm just gonna talk about my favorite restaurants today. I was really fashion forward, so I was posting Amazon hauls, Amazon dresses. I'm like, people, all my friends, so where Meg Things came from, I'm always like everywhere. Like, I'm that person, I'm like, let's go try this new restaurant, let's plan this trip. I just like, feel like I know things. And my friends always made fun of me and said, oh, Meg Things again, like, I'm doing a Meg thing. So in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna name myself that. Once I posted that video that you just saw, which is crazy to me, it got over 300,000 views. I'm spray tanning someone, my phone's blowing up. My husband's like, you're going viral. I'm like, I'm going viral? Like, this is my moment. Like, what the hell is going on? And yeah, that video got over 5,000 shares, 300,000 views, and I was onto something. And when I really knew I was onto something is I kept riding the wave. I kept posting Amazon fashion videos. Then one of my Amazon fashion videos went viral. And let me just tell you, because we'll get into this at the end, when I saw that Amazon commission check come in, I knew I was onto something. And I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to spray tan anymore. Maybe I want to do this. So enough about me. How do you do this? And we're going to dive in. So these are kind of my 4 pillars that I feel you need to know how to do this. Find your niche. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What do you love? What do you love to talk about? It doesn't have to be, so niche too. You can talk about a variety of different things, but just make sure you're passionate about what you're talking about. Provide value. I cannot stress that point enough. before you post a piece of content, and especially when I post one, I say, will people share this with their friends? What value is this video providing? Are people going to want to share it? Is there valuable information? And it doesn't matter if you're talking about a restaurant, if you're talking about a dress or a hat brand. Do people find value in this? Will they save it? Will they share it? Showcase who you are without apologies. I know it sounds like stupid, be yourself, whatever, but you have to be so yourself that is almost cringy and embarrassing, and it's going to feel that way at first, but it's going to pay off. And create community. I blew up on TikTok, but my Instagram, I only had 2,000 followers for a long time, for about 6 months until it started rising. And I think it's really important to treat the people that follow you like your best friends. Like, you want to have a two-way conversation, you want to post stories, you want to post polls, you want to ask their opinions. It's really important to make them feel like they're your online best friends, because they're the ones supporting you, so they have to feel supported back. But the most important thing that I can stress, if you take anything out of this presentation, and this really goes, not even if you're posting on social media, but consistency. I posted every day, and I know that that might sound insane, like how the heck did you do that? But it is possible, and you don't even have to start by posting every day. You can literally just post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, challenge yourself to really put yourself out there, and your followers will know, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they're gonna post something I like. Consistency is key in everything you do, and think about it. I posted 30 videos before one hit, which also, I'm not saying that's going to happen for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone. But the more videos you have out there, the more chance you have of one going viral. Okay, you might laugh, but I'm telling you, these 3 products, if you want to do content creation, if you want to do influencing, you're a college student, go on Amazon. First thing you're going to need is a tripod. If you have great natural lighting, I know girls who love makeup, we love natural lighting, but sometimes you need a ring light. Lighting is everything, and that moves to my middle one. If I could sew that like to my hand, I probably would. It makes everything look better. Lighting, if you go to my first videos I ever did, my food videos, and then you look at them now, night and day, all because of this light. It's about $60 on Amazon. It is perfection, especially if you're doing unboxing videos, if you're showcasing a product, get that light. Microphone. If you are voiceovering videos, and I'm sure we have a lot of media people in here who already know about a microphone, it makes your videos sound crisp, it makes them sound clear. If you're just recording yourself talking, you don't necessarily need it. It might be a little inauthentic, but if you're voiceovering videos, that's like $19 on Amazon. It's great. Editing. So tips and tricks. Everyone asks, how did you learn how to edit? Well, I'm a site major. I don't know how the hell to edit. So I taught myself. You go on TikTok, you go on YouTube, you learn how to edit. I would upload videos on TikTok and just play around, see what works, see how to edit, how to add captions, how to add music. I eventually was like, okay, I don't really want to edit in this app anymore. I wanted to take it to the next level. I could not recommend InShot more. You can download it right on your phone. It is the easiest way to edit a video, and it is so simple to learn. I just watched TikTok, YouTube tutorials, and it was perfect. And what I also say is take a video you love of an influencer you follow. And what I would do is I would put that video on my iPad, and then I would go on InShot and I try to create the same thing. If you've ever seen some of those videos where people are restocking, or it's like very fast, I was like, I'm obsessed with this, I need to learn. So I would go in InShot and I learned, and any one of you in this room can edit a video, I promise you. CapCut's also another great one. It's linked to TikTok, so if you're solely posting on TikTok, TikTok favors CapCut a little bit more. But personally, I just find InShot easier to use. It's up to you. SEO. I'm sure you've heard this buzzword, but it's so important, because when you're posting a video to TikTok or Instagram, you need to tell them what you're posting. Instagram and TikTok's not going to know. So if you just post a video with nothing, it's going to be like just lost in space. So say you're posting a video about Amazon fashion. You want something, keywords right at the beginning of that video. Must have dress, must try restaurant, clickbait. It's a real thing. You have to get the viewer in. Right, they are scrolling so fast. We all know we do it. You need to draw them in. hashtags. My strategy, people say, oh, hashtags don't matter. I find they matter. If you go on Instagram, you type in New Jersey influencer, New Jersey food blogger, I pop up, and I think hashtags are that reason. My way of thinking is think of 3 overarching themes. If you're posting a restaurant video, I'll do hashtag New Jersey restaurants, and then I'll drill down. What is your video really about? Is it about a New Jersey date night spot? Is it about a New Jersey Italian restaurant? So things like that, really thinking and drilling down those hashtags will really make your video pop, and if someone's searching for something, it's really important. Captions are another thing. If we're talking about Instagram captions and TikTok captions, so important. Think about when you go on TikTok. How do I curl my hair? You type that in. You want your video to pop up. So think about that in your caption. The best way to curl your hair, hairstyling tips, hairstyling techniques. Think about if I was the user searching for this video, what SEO and buzzwords about my video can I put in my caption that will show up when people are searching for this content? Come on. Okay. Monetize. A lot of people don't know where to start when they want to monetize. I started this, and again, truly, I started this a year ago. I had no idea what I was doing. I wanted to find paid collabs. Great platforms to find paid collabs. Aspire, Maverick, collectively, Shopify collabs. You can go on here, link your social media accounts, and apply for campaigns. They pay pretty well, especially if I was in college. I would be like, okay, I'm rolling in it. And another great one is Octoly. So if you want free product and you want to post on social media, but especially in college, I had like $70 to my name. You can go on Octoly and they will send you free product as long as you post. So it's a great tool if you want to showcase makeup, hair, home stuff, sports stuff. You can go on there and get free stuff. It's amazing. So these are great. Another way to monetize, link everything. You ever see on people's Instagram stories, there's always links. It's because they're getting paid. And you have to think of that mindset. So my Amazon storefront, like I said, when I had that Amazon video go viral, I was like, I'm retiring, but I'm not retiring. But that's how I felt because it was so crazy that people just click my link, they add an Amazon dress I recommend to the cart, and I get commission for their whole cart. Not a lot of people know that. So if they click your link, you're getting that commission. Reach out to brands. If you have a favorite brand you love, so many of them will throw you a discount code and throw you an affiliate link. If you're promoting something, you should be getting paid and get commission. A lot of brands have ambassador programs. You can apply to market yourself. How do you do that? You need a media kit. Who has heard of a media kit? Does anyone know? Okay, a few of you. Think of a media kit as your content creator resume. So you want a picture of you, what you do, how many followers you have, your analytics, you're selling yourself, some examples of past work you've done. You have a rate. A lot of brands will say, what are your rates? You want to have that done so you can just send it out. It's the wild, wild west. You can charge and throw out any number. There is no rhyme or reason, but it's good to have a rate card. How much do you charge for an IG reel? How much do you charge for a static post? Stories, rights usage. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could get into, but think about how much you want to charge and what you think is fair. Analytics, so important. And Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, they make it so easy. They have them all listed out. Make sure you put your most important, best analytics, obviously, forward so you can get hired by brands. And good photos. My best friends in college took fire photos of me at the bar so they can take fire photos of you out by the lake, put a blazer on, and look good so you can have a count. And a lot of people think that's crazy to say, but I'll really dive into this. So your engagement rate, this is what brands care about the most. Interactions on social media, so your likes, comments, shares, saves, divide that by the number of followers you have times 100, that is your engagement rate. This is the industry standard. Everyone has their own definition of what is a good engagement rate. The more followers you have, the harder it will be to maintain a really high rate just from the sheer volume of people. But this is kind of the industry standard. So when we talk about engagement, A lot of people say, why does follower count not matter? That sounds crazy. If someone has 100,000 followers, they're going to push your product. Well, think about it. We have influencer A and influencer B. Influencer A has 100,000 followers, but she bought bots. And if you don't know what a bot is, you can pay for people to follow you online, so it makes you look super cool. You have 100K, but they're all robots. They're fake. They're not real people. You have influencer A. She bought robots, 100K. I take a look at her videos. Maybe her videos have 5,000 views, couple shares. Then we have influencer B. She has 20,000 followers, but 18,000 people are viewing her video. And she has a couple hundred shares. Who are you picking if you're a brand? You're picking influencer B. And it doesn't matter that the other one has 100,000 followers. The number one thing I say, I know it's tempting. It used to be people buy bots to get that swipe up link. You don't even need to do that anymore. Do not buy followers, likes. It will kill your engagement rate and brands will not. What not to do? Isn't this a funny one? Care what others think. Isn't this a good one? It feels so embarrassing. Like literally playing that TikTok for all of you in front of you. Like when my husband takes my TikTok, I'm like, shut it off. I don't want this to myself. You're always gonna have that, right? But you need to not care because guess what? It's cringy at first. You're like, everyone on Riders Campus is thinking I'm an influencer and talking about me and putting my videos down. You know it's not embarrassing when you get that check, when you're successful. It's not embarrassing anymore and everyone wants to be your friend. And take it from me, that's exactly what has happened to me. So be so authentically yourself in who you are and do not apologize for it. Conform. What is so funny about that TikTok that went viral is I thought, honestly, that, not that it's stupid, but I was like, I can't believe out of all the videos I've edited and put my time into, that one went viral. And I said, why is that? I'm just talking to my phone, running around my kitchen like a crazy person. It's because I was unaesthetic. Everyone in this room probably knows Alex Earl. If you don't, I don't know how you don't. But why she blew up is her content is so unaesthetic. It is so unhinged and real that people are like, I love her. I love this. People don't really want that super aesthetic video anymore. They want to see you. They want to see who you are. And I think that what I really realized with my one TikTok that went viral, people just want to act like they're FaceTiming with their best friend getting some restaurant recommendations. I don't have to get all done up and be perfect and, eat spaghetti in this crazy way. Like, I could just be myself and say, hey, I really like this restaurant. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Like, think about disrupting. Like, everyone's doing A, how can I disrupt and do B? That's the best way to think sometimes. And look, some people make a lot of money doing what everyone else is doing, and good for them. I'm just saying that's what works for them. And don't overthink it. Don't sit for hours editing a video, overthinking. If your video provides value, if you think it's good content, post a good caption and let it roll. Don't drive yourself nuts. And this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So this is my real talk. I need water here. You can make a lot of money. But there's a few things that you need to know if you want to be a content creator and influencer. Let's start with the top. You get out what you put in, right? Consistency. If you're going to post once a week, every few weeks, blah, 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 it's not going to be a career. It's like if you did anything and put that much effort into it. If you really want to make a career out of this and make a full-time salary and make good money, you get out what you put in. You've got to put the work in. People will be mean. I have learned this. I mean, people are mean in life, but imagine online. You will have to develop the thickest skin possible. And I don't say that to scare you, but people are brutal. They will not like your success, and that's what I say to them. Because I'm standing here right now talking to you all. So just remember that it's okay, you're going to have haters, but you got to keep going. This is a 24/7 job. Why do I say that? I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying I eat, sleep, and breathe this job because I truly love it, though. And I think that people think, oh, I'll just post a video once a week, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can do that, but it's not going to be 24/7. I'm always thinking about what content am I putting out, planning, emails. I mean, it's just constant. Everything can be content, right? And it's also hard sometimes to turn it off. Like, I'm going on vacation next week. I'm like, am I posting content? But I'm not particularly. But you always are thinking about what is next, how can I grow? So it can be a lot sometimes, just being honest, but I also love it. And make a financial plan. There are months that I get so many deals and partnerships, and there are months that I don't. It's not like you're getting a paycheck every Friday. It's very up and down, and you need to make a financial plan, especially if you're supporting yourself, rent, all this stuff. Make sure you know what's coming in and going out, just making sure you have a good plan, because it's very up and down, and some months you're rolling in it, and some months you're like, oh, I'm waiting for the next check. So just being transparent about that. But also, real talk, this is my dream job. And I think that one of the best things that has come out of this, and I realized this during COVID when my husband started working from home, is the most priceless thing to me is time. And it is something, it's the one thing you can never get back, right? You can make all the money in the world, it goes in, it goes out, but time is something you never get back. And time is most important to me. So when I was thinking about posting on TikTok, I was thinking about what can I do so I can wake up in the morning and not have to answer to Joe Schmo. So this is where I'm at, and I have my time back, and it's glorious, I have to say. It's the best part about this. There is so many ways to grow. People think, oh, you have a following on Instagram and TikTok. Well, my brain is already reeling, what can I create next? What happens if Instagram goes down, if Instagram goes away, if TikTok goes away? How did I utilize my platform to create a brand? You can do so many different things once you have the platform to do so. So it's important to think about, there's so many ways to grow just beyond being a social media presence. And every day is exciting, like today, very exciting for me. And I wake up and I feel fulfilled. And it's a really cool feeling to know that I can wake up and just say, hey, what am I gonna film today? What am I gonna do? Connecting with people is so huge to me. I absolutely love it, so it's just really fun. And I think number one, people really rip on influencers, right? It's not like the most positive word. And I used to be kind of like ashamed of saying the word influencer, but guess what? You can change people's lives. If I post about someone's restaurant, and I'm not saying this to brag, their seats are filled the rest of the week. And it's life-changing. I'm affecting business owners. I'm affecting brands. I'm affecting a woman who is dreaming of making this product and getting it out in front of hundreds of thousands of people. You have the influence and power to really make an impact, and it doesn't have to be, what's the word I'm looking for, so selfish or something, like you're just out for yourself. You can really impact other people, and I think it's one of the coolest parts about this job. So I know Instagram is down, but this is where you can follow me at megthings_. Someone took megthings, and I'm gonna have to get it from them. And then TikTok's Meg Longo. But I look forward to answering all your questions. If you need anything, if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, email me. I want to be a resource. I'm thinking of doing like courses or something like that. But if you need anything, please know that I was once in your shoes, and you can do it.
Thank you very much, Meg. That was really, really good in the sense of what we talked about social media, as well as everybody here. This is someone who was not that far removed from where you were. And another part is this idea of an influencer with social media probably wasn't a big conversation that long ago when you were in college. So how quickly things change.
Yeah.
Ben and Amethyst have a couple questions.
Yeah.
If you guys can direct those towards Meg, and then we'll finish up with questions from the audience. And please follow Meg and use her as a resource. You were at Rider University for the ability to communicate with alumni. So Meg has made herself available. Please take her up on that. So Ben, do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. So you said you graduated in 2012.
Yep.
And you had your training business and you were for those clothing outlets.
Mhm.
So when did the money really start rolling in?
Yeah.
How long did it
Great question.
take?
I would say, so I started posting like in February. I would say that I started bringing in like actual revenue probably like in July. So it probably took about 6 to 8 months. And it was small brand deals, like you're not landing like, $1,000 brand deals, but small enough that it added up, under like $1,000, but there's so many brands, and people think, oh, I'm never gonna get a paid brand deal, but there's a lot of brands out there. Yeah.
I think that's something that we learn in social media classes at Rider is that you really have to find your personal brand, and you were kind of saying something that makes people go to you instead of going to you.
Yeah.
What is kind of the recommendation for finding that personal brand? Because you kind of fell into like this a mix and I love these things.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are trying to figure out how to foster that personal brand. So do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, it really goes back. I think brainstorming is one of the best things you can do. Write down everything you love. Like I love fashion, I love clothes, I love makeup. Write it all down. Circle something that really gets you out of bed in the morning. Go from there. Start exploring that. And if you want to think of like, Meg things, thank God my college friends made up that name. I didn't have to think about it. But you could I was full on hustler. Like I was like, I want to come to your restaurant. So when I started the restaurant thing, which is like a lot of what I do now, I was just getting a free meal and I would say, I'll post you. And that's how I got started. You just kind of, you have to eat it and just, thank God my husband supported me through that. But then eventually you're like getting enough views where you're like, okay, like it's time for me to charge. So that's kind of what I did. You come to a certain point, and you'll know when you come to that point where people are really watching and sharing your videos and your analytics are shooting up. That's when you need to really step back and say, I'm worth getting paid to do this.
Yeah, I think the social media industry can be like super scary to
Yes.
navigate, and you
Yes.
said that you're your own boss.
Yeah.
What advice do you recommend for people to like kind of vouch for themselves and
Yeah.
stand up for themselves because it's
Yeah.
a big part of it and not having a boss?
I think, like I said, you need to have thick skin, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to know that you provide value. And I think when you go to a certain point on social media, if you have the analytics to back it up, you know your worth. And I have been thrown more things that you can imagine that don't align with my personal values, they don't align with my brand, and I don't want to sell out, right? So I think it's important that as your own boss, you make sure that everything you're accepting, especially beauty collaborations, starting to like, oh my God, let me take all these brand deals, and it doesn't feel authentic. So you really need to be calculated and stay focused on what is important.
If I can interject here,
Yeah,
and then we'll have, if you guys, any questions, and you guys want.
yeah,
Meg, what we're looking at, the business of media landscape, and looking
Yeah.
at it a little bit larger. We've got a room of, let's say, 100 people here. You said in the beginning, if you wanted to become an influencer, X, Y, and Z. Looking at it from now a different standpoint, is there room, if all these people wanted to become influencers, social media is so big, but is there room for all these people to become an influencer in a marketplace where you could probably, off the top of your head, list 20, 30 influencers?
honestly, like 100%. When you think about how many brands, how many restaurants, you can do it. And I think that micro influencing, which is really when influencers are like under 100K or 50K, brands actually find sometimes that they more authentically can connect with the brand because they have such an engaged small community that brands value that. So I think that, yeah, everyone in this room can do it. There's so many different niches, there's so many ways you can go about it, and there's so many different avenues. You can do vlogs, you can do shop with me's, you can do get ready with me's, unboxings. I mean, there's someone I follow, probably you all follow her. She literally just organizes her house like that, and she makes good money. And it's really the wild, wild west, but everyone can do it if they have some money. So I think, yeah.
Okay, we'll have a few minutes left for questions for you guys. Please feel free to raise your hand. Questions for Meg, yeah?
So you talked
You
about,
could raise up your voice. Okay.
so you talked about one of the main things I think was successful for you was like kind of disrupting what was like considered brands and
Yeah.
what you're doing. So what are some examples of how you did that and how it was
Yeah, so I think it's important. So once you find like your niche or like what you want to do like market research. Look at what other people are posting, what's really doing well. And if you see a video and you're like, oh, this isn't doing so well, I think it's important too you know, especially with the restaurant videos, that's really what I was seeing. Everyone was getting all done up, going into a restaurant, and watching it, it felt a little fake. It's like, are you really enjoying the food? And that was my disruptor for me. I think the biggest thing I can say with disrupting is how can you be your most authentic self? I think that's, if you take that away, that's the most important thing. Because if everyone's doing A, how can you be so real and so authentic and do B? So I think that's important when you're disrupting. And again, just doing market research. If everyone's doing A, try B. Yeah.
What do you see as the future of social media?
It's constantly changing. I think AI is going to be like a huge deal. I don't know yet like what that's going to entail. I think that's going to be like a very, very big part of social media. So we'll see. We might be sitting here in 10 years and we'll see how that affects it. I think definitely more people are using social media, even if they have a business, even if they're not an influencer. It's so important. Even when I have my spray tanning business, you have to post content. People connect with you before they connect with whatever you're selling. And I see so many business owners now. It almost feels like everyone's becoming an influencer because they know that people connect with a person over a product.
Yeah, so I think something that really plagues a lot of young creators in this industry is creator's block.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's something that you've experienced in your career as of now. So what's something that you would recommend to young creators to kind of get over that hump if they are experiencing creative block?
Yeah. So what I do is I call it batch creative content. So I'll pick a day, maybe it's a Monday, and I'll visit, 5 places, whether it's shopping or whether it's food. And that way I know I have 5 days of content. And I repurpose a lot of content too. There are so many trends that you can repurpose your content. For instance, I filmed this restaurant video and it was gorgeous. It looked like a mansion. And it went great. Video blew up, whatever. And like a few weeks later, I saw a trend and I was in, honestly, a creator block. I'm like, I just don't feel like voiceover today. I don't feel like posting. I'll go on Instagram, scroll through Reels, see what's trending. I'm sure some of you have seen Saltburn, that Murder on the Dance Floor song. I'm like, light bulb. I'm going to repurpose that mansion restaurant video and say, it's like you're eating in the Saltburn mansion. It was a 2-second video. I just took what I had. I have like 1.5 million views on it. And I was in a creator block. So I think that taking batch content, you can repurpose your content. You don't have to have something new every day. Just think about different ways you can use it, and then it'll get you through that slump. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Question that I have is, what type of content do you enjoy the most creating and developing overall on your social media platforms to your audience and followers?
I think my favorite right now, I'm like really in my foodie era. I just love. I feel like I connect so much with like business owners, and it's so cool to like blow their restaurants up. So right now that's my era, but I really, really do love. I'm gonna do more fashion videos because TikTok, I was really doing that. That's like my second favorite. I love like try on hauls and connecting and showing like a big thing. I love Free People. That's like my favorite brand. So showing like Amazon dupes and things like that. So I really enjoy that.
Do you post like more than one video a day? Like what does it look like when you're posting?
Yeah. So when I first started, I was like, I need to be successful. I was crazy. I was posting twice a day. You're burnt out. It's a lot, Now I post once a day. TikTok I don't post every day just because my Instagram, it's like taken off a lot more. And I find actually oddly that Instagram I get a lot more restaurant business deals just because I feel like restaurant owners, they're not really on TikTok yet. So I kind of have been focusing on Instagram, but yeah, once a day or else I'll go insane. Yep.
Have you declined any brand deals, and if so, what's the biggest one you declined?
Oh yeah. Well, I can't say the brand, but it was $5,000. But it was an energy drink, and I don't like energy drinks.
Can you give me their name, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't like energy. Yeah.
I know you gave a list of the influencers that have that.
Yeah.
Are there any other ways that you can surprise
Oh yeah, I mean, just like, I think I've surprised myself, honestly, with editing, because if you told me sitting here that I would be like full on editing videos and like learning SEO and like all these ways to make my videos go viral, I would think you're crazy. So yeah, I surprise myself every day. I'm surprised sitting here. Like, if I started this a year ago, I mean, that video I showed was February 9th of last year. So this is all crazy. I'm still in my like, oh my god, this is crazy era. Yes. Yeah.
My question is, what's your favorite part about being a social media content creator?
Yeah. My favorite part, this is definitely in person, like connection. This is like incredible to me that like, I know some people here are extroverted, but it's really incredible that people came to like listen to me. And I think it's crazy I think the craziest favorite part is when I'm like out shopping in a store and someone's like, oh my god, you're Meg Things, I'm so excited to meet you. It is the weirdest feeling, I will never be able to describe it. But the fact that I'm impacting people and they feel like they're my friend online is the coolest feeling. And I just had my first like in-person kind of event. I had the Espresso Martini event, and meeting everyone, that was like the most rewarding feeling, that I built something and people actually want to show up and drink martinis with me. Yep.
Were you citing something specific to how it made your success?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when I was a psych major, like I was doing science projects, and then I'm like, okay, well, I need to learn about event planning. So I took PR with Dr. Moore. I took event planning classes, marketing classes. It really impacted me because even though I didn't realize it then, it really helped me down the line throughout my career, throughout all those jobs I had. I feel like Ryder almost provided like the stepping stones for me. And I feel like if I never minored in event planning, I wouldn't have gone that fashion, event planning route, operations route. So I feel like my journey here definitely led me to where I am. Yep. Yep.
So you create a lot of videos. Would you say that using voiceover like on TikTok is inauthentic? Because like I personally don't like the sound of my voice on tape. So
Yeah.
I was wondering your thoughts.
This is the funniest thing. I'm so happy you brought this up. I hated my voice. I'm not kidding. It was my biggest insecurity. I always felt like I had a deeper voice than most. And I met someone at my event that I had 2 weeks ago. They go, I am obsessed with your voice. I could listen to you all day. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? And you think you hate your voice, but I don't hate your voice. Your voice is great. So you kind of have to get out of your head that way. The more you do it, like I said, you are going to post, it's going to feel cringy, it's going to feel weird. You are going to get over it, and people are going to love your voice. TikTok's a little more authentic, I will say. So I don't voice over too many videos on TikTok because I feel like TikTok feels like you're just pulling out your phone recording, where Instagram feels a little more aesthetic. I find when I'm doing a video, like if I'm visiting somewhere, if I'm doing like a shop with me or something, it's easier to voice over that videos rather than in person. Because if I'm in Target filming a video, there's babies crying, mom screaming, it's loud. You can't do it. So I find that voiceover is best in those scenarios. But yeah, your voice, people are gonna love your voice. Yeah. Yep.
You mentioned that this is like a 24/7 kind of job.
Mhm.
What are some things you do in your daily life to not make it like all consuming and have a
Yes. Yeah, so I started, like, my phone is on Do Not Disturb at all times, which I know sounds like crazy, but I felt like I couldn't look at everything pop up. So that was, like, my number one thing that has helped me so much in the past couple of months, that I'm not distracted. I will, I don't know if you ever have one of those timing work blocks. I will sit down on my laptop and just say, okay, for an hour, I'm not opening my phone, I'm just doing my work. I know it sounds like I go to the gym, but like going to the gym, like taking an hour out of my day, starting your day with intention, it is so easy. Like we all do it. We're always on our phones. Like you do it without even thinking about it. So I think like doing this 24/7, I've had to be really like particular, like, okay, after 8 p.m., like my phone's off. Like I'm not doing this right now. And just being intentional, I think is most important. Yeah. I know you have a question.
You talked about your internship
Mhm.
with Leader Fashion Week in IMG.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Because I heard that.
It's so funny. I love the Fiji Water one because it was like a contest. So I basically like won free clothes. It wasn't like it was like a week internship, but it wasn't an internship. You know what I'm saying? But IMG, if I'm being so honest, like it was fun, but it was so cutthroat. And I really did love the app. That's when I really learned like fashion for me. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be like at Fashion Week. It just felt like, I don't know, it felt a little like not humble to me. And it didn't align with my values. And it might align with some people's values, but it was a cool experience, but it also just helped me. And I think that's the good part about internships, right? You think you want to do something, but maybe you don't. So that kind of helped me too. We'll go all the way in the back. Yeah. Yeah, Instagram and TikTok certainly are different. So I find that my TikTok, like I said before, it's more, TikTok feels like I can just open my camera and talk and just kind of be like unhinged. Like I could just post whatever. Instagram, it's starting to, I do notice that Instagram's starting to become that way. So yeah, I post kind of different things on each platform. Sometimes I cross post. Like restaurant videos and stuff, but I do find that I try to create different content, and I think that's good for me too because it makes me all encompassing. You know, I can talk about fashion, I can talk about restaurants, I can talk about this. Yeah. Yeah. So I use Monday. That's like my tool of choice. There's a million you could use. There's a lot of project management tools, but for me personally, I love Monday, so that's what I use. I plan it out pretty much by like the week, things to do, and then I have like a monthly calendar. Yep. Yeah.
With the rise of like artificial intelligence and like a lot of like ChatGPT and all that, do you fear that like it'll take over like your industry by any chance?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not fearful of it because at the end of the day, I think human beings crave connection. So, like, we're not going to connect with a robot. Hey, some people might, do your thing. But for me, personally, I think that people are always going to crave human connection. Is ChatGPT going to be a helpful tool if you want to create captions, if you want to use it for SEO, if you want to learn about social media and how to go viral? Sure. But I don't think it's going to take away that human connection. Yep.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the amount of
Yes.
organize and filter through that?
So funny you say this because I'm still dealing with it. I was just saying to him earlier, I'm definitely going to hire some sort of like management just to my emails and my DMs are insane. There are platforms that you can organize your DMs, especially I use, actually if you go on Facebook, Meta Business Suite, you can organize all your DMs, so I do that. Honestly though, I'm very bad at it. I'll just go on my phone and I try to answer as many people as possible, but yeah, it's very annoying, to be honest. Yep. Yes, I have definitely YouTube. Right now I'm just at capacity. Like it is just so much. I'm doing so many things. So I think once I hire someone to help me, definitely I'll be posting on YouTube. And I think YouTube Shorts is like a big thing now. So I definitely want to get on there. I've posted a few, but I really haven't like focused on it. But yeah, definitely. Yep. Bad what? I'm sorry. In person, no. Online, yeah. I've gotten some really strange DMs, really mean comments. I mean, I don't know. I just block it. You ever see that trend on TikTok? It's like blocked. That's my motto for 2020. It's like I don't want to deal with this, but not in person yet. But not gonna. It's not wood, so it's gonna happen. Yep.
What's your advice for creating community?
Yeah, creating community, I think, like I said, it's a two-way interaction. You want people to feel like you care about them, and I do care about them because they're supporting me. You know, I think that going on your stories and just talking, it sounds stupid, but it's one of the best things you can do. It's like having, you know, when you open someone's video, you're having a conversation, engaging them. I ask, where do you like to shop? You know, what are your favorite restaurants? You can do, where should I go visit in New Jersey? I've been doing that. It's been like insane. People have been sending me all their recommendations. So it's just making them feel included and supported, and like you really truly care about what they're saying because they're the ones supporting you. So you have to kind of have that two-way combo. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. My name is Dr. Ibo. I teach education ethics.
Yeah.
And incidentally, this topic is what we do in my class.
Oh my gosh,
as we
love
speak,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And so we're looking at the, a couple of days ago, we looked at the case of Dylan Mulvaney, we got it show. But what I also like my class is that the social influencer industry really is an independent vendor. We produce product, but there's really no professional association that provides a code of ethics for you guys. So you're sort of on your own doing what you want to do, right? Picking your clients, picking your topics, right? And that's wonderful. But in terms of ethics, I've been benefiting from my class.
Yeah.
What, and you just said it, you can influence things, you can influence people, buying things, going to restaurants, making all kinds of important decisions in their lives based on what you tell them, right? So what are the sort of ethical antennas or ethical considerations that you kind of use as you pick and choose what to do, and what are your boundaries? Like, you say, I'm not going to do this, or this is not, you know, what can I think? You get my point?
I think for my ethics, if I'm promoting a product, it's something that I love. I think one of the biggest questions I get is, if you are getting paid, how can I trust you? And I have made it from the moment I started doing any of this. I said, if I go to a restaurant, even if they're paying me and I have the worst experience, I eat the food. And I haven't had this happen yet, thank God, but I made a promise to myself, I will not post this and I'll just hand the money back. I think it's really important because, like I said, you're getting thrown a million different things. It is so important to have values, to have ethics, to have boundaries, that you're not just getting paid to promote something that you never use. I will never, promote a product I never used. I will never post a restaurant I didn't like. And I think that my audience, and I've talked about it with them, and I think transparency actually really ties into it, because a lot of influencers, they don't want to talk about the money aspect. It's really awkward, it feels uncomfortable, but I think that when I hop on stories and I'm very transparent that yes, I deserve to be paid at this restaurant because it's not work for, it's work for me. I'm not just sitting enjoying a meal, but them knowing that, hey, if I really don't like something, I'm not going to sell this to you. So I think it's important to have those boundaries and really be transparent about that.
Can I add something interesting to Dr. Ibo? There used to be a very famous food critic for the Philadelphia Food Club. His name was Craig Levine, very influential in Philadelphia. And he would have his picture and his byline, and he would have a piece of bread over his face. So you never knew what Craig Levine looked like. He was one of the most famous Philadelphia journalists. Do you walk into a place and someone says, "Oh my God, it's Meg"? Has that happened to you?
Yeah. And it's funny, it's funny you brought up the food critic. Someone wrote, a troll was like, how can you be a food critic if you're getting paid? And I wrote back, I'm not a food critic, Like, I'm not. I'm just posting what I like. Like, I'm not, Craig. So, yeah, I get recognized all the time. I also take into consideration, like, look, when I go to a restaurant, they're pulling out the red carpet. I'm not stupid. I'm going to get the best service. I'm going to get, like, amazing food. And I'm honest, if people comment on my video and said I didn't have that experience, I pass it along to the restaurant. And, it goes back to transparency. Like, I'm really sorry you had that experience. I really like the food, and just having that transparent combo. But, yeah, it's a weird world. People recognize me, so, yeah.
When you first started, how did you get that engagement for your original content? You got engagement for when you didn't have any content.
I think engagement really ties into how strong your community is, and like I said, if you even have 10 followers, treat those 10 followers like your best friends, because they are your engagement. And whenever you post something new, they're going to send it, those 10 people are going to send it to 10 more people. And you have to think of it that way. I think a lot of people focus on, oh my god, I need to get all these followers. But if you just focus on who's following you already, they'll do the work for you. So I think it's just really important, and that will keep your engagement up. And I think that I've met so many people like, oh, my friend told me to follow you. They love your stuff. So really thinking about that community aspect, it's super tied to the engagement aspect. Yeah.
Just a follow-up question. Do you believe in like the syncretism of like giving 10 to 15 minutes of engagement with the community when you post new content, or like ultimately letting them?
There are so many. I mean, when I started, you know, we all see them, how to get followers, how to grow engagement. I don't know. You know, I don't know the answer. I don't really believe in that, though. I think if people really love your content and what you're producing, it'll go viral whether it wants to or not. I think it's important to stay on for 5 minutes to answer some comments, just so you get the comments rolling and get some engagement. But no, I don't think anyone has, you know, everyone has the tip and trick, right? But I think overall, if you're producing good content and people really like you, I think it's not a big deal. Yeah.
Is it ever difficult to deal with like just thinking about the fact that like a lot of people know you and like are pursuing a lot of things that you do in your daily life, and like so how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's interesting. My husband, he wants nothing, not that he wants nothing to do with this, he supports me, but his biggest thing was, I don't want our life to be content. And I never wanted that for my husband. If I don't have kids yet, but when I have kids, I'm not posting them. That's just my personal decision. It's no hate to anyone who does that. I really value my relationships and my friendships, and yeah, it's pretty weird now, but I think, again, it really just goes back to boundaries. Whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever your partner feels comfortable with, but yeah, it's a difficult thing to navigate sometimes. So, yep.
Being an influencer and being like a lot of places, is there one place that sticks out more than others?
God, I get asked this question so much. I don't have like a favorite restaurant. I mean, I have like genres of my favorite places, but I don't have like one particular favorite. It depends on my vibe for the day, but there's so many good places to visit, so yeah. Yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you.
I was just wondering, like, for folks like me who has never posted on like TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, or who doesn't even have an account with those two, seemingly that they're like the most biggest platforms. But if you're more of a Facebook follower and you have Facebook content that
Yep.
you've seen yourself get a lot of attention in, is any of these things good for that type of platform as an older
Absolutely.
generation person?
Yeah. So funny enough, I saw a video, I forget his last, Gary V, I think he is. He has so many good tips. He said Facebook is an amazing and underutilized social media tool. I post all my Instagram reels to Facebook. There's a lot of people on there that are watching that content. So I think Facebook, 100%, you can definitely post on there and be successful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yeah. So I didn't have it for a while, but I don't want to get hacked. So that's literally the only reason I bought it. Because I mean, I built this up really, obviously, and I don't want to lose that. So this is my thing. People were making fun of people for buying blue check marks. As you can tell already, I don't really give a shit what people think. So I'm gonna buy the blue check mark, and I'm not gonna get hacked. And if they get hacked, that's on them. So I think it's totally fine to buy it, and don't be embarrassed about it. Yep. Yeah. How what? Oh, I think it's like 14 a month. Yeah. Yeah. It's not serious. Yeah. Yep.
Have you ever posted a video and there's like an overwhelming number of people who are mad at it, and if so, like, how do you deal with like, I guess,
Yeah.
controversy?
I have, it's funny. The Corporal Taylor Hand videos. I swear to God, like there are grown ass men in the comments going back and forth, like 45 comments fighting with each other, and I'm like, keep it rolling. Let's keep it going. It's making my video go up. So I haven't had a video. I know there's like the whole topic of being canceled. I haven't had that yet. I'm sure I'll post a video one day where someone's not gonna like what I say. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's not the worst yet, but I get mean comments every day, so it's like overall, Yes, I get mean comments. Not one video though. Yeah. Yep.
Corporal, right?
It's a pork roll. Sorry. Okay, we agree. Okay.
Okay, any other questions? If you have a couple more questions, just hold them on, but Ben and Amethyst, if you want to wrap it up with certain questions you guys have.
So, like during the Q&A, you kind of mentioned like different platforms. So when you do a post, do you kind of try to differentiate it according to the platform that they different demographics?
Yeah, it's so my Instagram is like a lot more like food, and then my stories it's more of like maybe the dress I'm wearing, the jewelry I'm wearing, things like that. Whereas TikTok, it's kind of like a free for all for me. I'll post restaurant videos, I'll post those funny trends, and I kind of play around with TikTok a lot more. And like I said, for me personally, Instagram, I get a lot more brand deals, and restaurants and business owners are a lot more on Instagram. Again, it is starting, to go over to TikTok. So I focus a little more on Instagram, and I have a little more fun on TikTok as well.
Like a lot of us are creatives in our
Yeah.
communications majors. What is it kind of like how do you do from just like having that creative freedom? Because I think that's what a lot of us crave.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of people for that.
I think it is the coolest feeling, and I really preach that anyone can do it. Like literally any of you in this room can do it. I had no idea. I worked at a nonprofit as like in operations, and then here I am. So I think it's really important that you can do it, and you have to believe in yourself. You're gonna have days when you're like, oh my god, I'm posting, I'm only getting 200 views, and you can't let up. If you really want it, you have to go for it, and when you have it, it's just like the best feeling.
Hey, any other questions in the group here? I want to make sure we have a couple minutes if you want to talk to Meg individually, come up and speak to her. So Meg, in the remaining minute or so here, let's turn the table, so to speak, when we talk about demographics and target audience. Anything, if you're looking at, you're in a room now with college students, I'm sure that's one of your key demographics, right?
Yep.
Anything about their social media use that you could learn or know that can help you? How much do you talk to your users, so to speak, besides the comments, just a general face-to-face?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm trying to talk to people every day. I think direct messaging is like an underutilized tool, and I think a lot of people think, oh, I don't have to answer these DMs, or I'll get to it. I think that a lot of my success has to do, I prioritize answering my DMs. I prioritize that two-way conversation, because people want to write to someone and they want to hear back. Now look, I can't answer everyone, but I think that if you answer enough people, I get so many responses like, oh my god, you answered me. And a lot of influencers, they don't answer, and I think that there's something to be said about that, yes, it's cool to make the videos, it's cool to get paid, all of that, but you can't do that without DMing and having that community. So yeah, I think it's really important to utilize that tool.
And just try to wrap it up with the academic side of some of our students here. So when you were at Rider, the word influencer probably never used, right?
No, it was like YouTubers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now today, that's a word we all use. So let's press the fast forward button 10 years from now. If you're doing what you're doing, will you still be called an influencer? Will the market have changed where it's no longer an influencer because that is what we look towards Instagram for, so we don't differentiate people what they're doing?
It's hard to say. I think that this way of marketing will only keep growing, and I think that that's the way it's going to be. I don't know in what direction. I think it's not going to be as salesy. A lot of brands now, I just see, there's a New Jersey girl, Leah's Cucina. I don't know if anyone ever saw her, but she just cooks dinner in her house every night. It's not this curated, here's my pork roll and you need to buy this. Content's becoming so much more authentic. Oh, I'm just cooking with the pork roll. So I think that that's the way it's going to trend. I don't know if we'll be sitting here using the word influencer, but I don't think like this type of marketing is going away. I think there might just be different ways that it happens rather than the salesy type of way that you think of when you associate the word influencer.
Well, let's please give a round of applause.